Indian economic updates. India's military transport aircraft fleet has been a critical enabler of strategic mobility, humanitarian assistance, and regional power projection for decades. However, much of this capability continues to rest on aging Soviet-era platforms whose operational relevance is increasingly strained by obsolescence, rising maintenance costs, and supply chain challenges. As the Indian Air Force (IAF) confronts these structural limitations, New Delhi is accelerating a long-overdue overhaul of its airlift capability, one that will reshape the force's tactical and operational reach over the coming decade. At the center of the legacy fleet is the Antonov AN-32, inducted in the 1980s and operated for more than 40 years in some of the world's most demanding environments. The aircraft has played a vital role in sustaining high-altitude deployments along India's northern borders and delivering rapid disaster relief across the country. Alongside it, the Ilyushin Il-76 has provided strategic airlift capacity, but aging avionics, dwindling spares availability, and escalating sustainment requirements are steadily eroding its operational viability. Smaller legacy platforms such as the Avro 748 have largely been retired, creating an urgent need for modern replacements across multiple lift categories. To address this challenge, the Ministry of Defence is preparing to launch a major procurement under the Long-Delayed Medium Transport Aircraft (MTA) program. The forthcoming tender, expected under the Buy and Make Indian category, seeks up to 80 medium transport aircraft at an estimated cost of $8 billion. The program is designed primarily to replace the AN-32 fleet while also complementing, and over time rationalizing, the Ilyushin Il-76 inventory through a common, modern medium-lift platform optimized for tactical and operational missions. The competition has drawn strong interest from global aerospace majors, each offering distinct operational advantages and industrial partnership models. Lockheed Martin is pitching the C-130J Super Hercules, already in limited service with the IAF and Indian Special Operations Units. Marketed as a low-risk and combat-proven option, the C-130J offers strong short and semi-prepared runway performance, proven reliability in extreme climates, and high interoperability with partner air forces, particularly those aligned with the United States. India's existing fleet also offers advantages in crew training, logistics support, and maintenance infrastructure, potentially enabling faster induction and fleet expansion. Brazil's Embraer, meanwhile, is advancing the KC-390 Millennium, a modern jet-powered transport aircraft positioned as a next-generation alternative to traditional turboprop platforms. The KC-390 offers higher cruise speeds, efficient payload carriage, advanced digital avionics, and fly-by-wire flight controls. Designed as a true multi-role aircraft, it supports troop and cargo transport, aerial refueling, medical evacuation, and humanitarian assistance missions. Embraer is highlighting lower projected life cycle costs and the potential for deep industrial collaboration, including co-production, as key attractions for India's long-term aerospace ambitions. Airbus Defence and Space is offering the A400M Atlas, a high-end solution that bridges the gap between medium and heavy-lift transport categories. With significantly greater payload capacity, extended range, and the ability to carry outsized cargo unavailable to smaller transports, the A400M promises enhanced strategic flexibility. Its relevance is particularly pronounced for long-range operations across the Andaman and Nicobar Islands and sustained deployments along India's northern and eastern borders. However, higher acquisition and operating costs complicate its case, especially given the IAF's existing heavy lift capability centered on the C-17 Globemaster III. Beyond aircraft performance, India's evaluation process is being shaped by broader strategic and industrial considerations. New Delhi remains firmly committed to aligning major defense acquisitions with its Make in India and defense indigenization objectives. Local assembly, technology transfer, supply chain localization, and the creation of long-term domestic maintenance and support infrastructure will be decisive factors. The MTA program is therefore seen not only as a fleet replacement effort but also as a cornerstone in building a resilient and self-sustaining aerospace industrial base. India's high-speed rail ambitions are gaining momentum as the country moves closer to awarding a key contract for the Mumbai-Ahmedabad bullet train project. A joint venture between Germany's Siemens and Ahmedabad-based Dinesh Chandra Agrawal Infracon PVT Ltd has emerged as the lowest bidder for the signalling and telecommunication system contract, submitting a bid of 4,140 crore rupees, significantly lower than the 12,686 crore rupees bid from the Alstom and Larsen and Toubro Limited consortium. This development marks a shift from India's earlier reliance solely on Japanese technology for its bullet train project. The integration of European expertise, particularly in signaling systems, indicates a tailored approach that combines international technology with domestic participation. Simultaneously, India continues to engage with Japanese firms regarding the supply of Shinkansen train sets. Japan plans to provide E3 and E5 series Shinkansen trains free of cost as inspection vehicles for the Mumbai-Ahmedabad corridor. These trains are expected to be delivered in early 2026 and will help assess the feasibility of the under-development E10 train sets, which are slated for introduction in the early 2030s. In a move to bolster indigenous capabilities, the Integral Coach Factory has been tasked with developing a domestically produced bullet train capable of speeds up to 280 km per hour, collaborating with Bharat Earth Movers Limited. Integral Coach Factory has priced the project at 866.87 crore rupees, with each coach costing 27.86 crore rupees. The contract encompasses design, development, and the establishment of necessary infrastructure for manufacturing and testing. These strategic initiatives underscore India's commitment to realizing its bullet train dream by blending international technology with domestic innovation, aiming for a high-speed rail network that is both advanced and self-reliant. Jharkhand is a state rich in natural resources and abundant possibilities. The sacred land of Jharkhand, Karma Bhumi of the great freedom fighter and revered icon of the tribal community, Bhagwan Birsa Munda, has witnessed continuous efforts over the past 9 years by the Government of India for the all-round development of the state and the upliftment of tribal communities. On the auspicious occasion of Bhagwan Birsa Munda's birth anniversary, celebrated as Tribal Pride Day and Jharkhand's Foundation Day, the state is set to receive several important projects. More than 7,000 crore rupees worth of projects, which will accelerate Jharkhand's economic growth and strengthen its infrastructure, are being inaugurated and foundation stones are being laid today. These include projects from the Ministries of Education, Road Transport, Petroleum, Coal, and Railways. Among these is the foundation stone of CCL's KDH Purnadi coal handling plant. The establishment of this state-of-the-art coal handling plant will increase the capacity of coal transportation and loading, ensuring seamless supply of coal. Strengthening infrastructure in the field of higher education, the foundation stone of the Indian Institute of Information Technology, IIIT, Ranchi campus is being laid today, along with the dedication of the permanent campus of the Indian Institute of Management, IIM, Ranchi and the Aqua Marine Students Hospital at IIT ISM Dhanbad. The expansion of infrastructure and new campuses in Jharkhand's premier educational institutions will support the smooth functioning of academic activities and provide students with modern, advanced learning environments. Students receiving world-class education here will be able to contribute significantly to the creation of a developed India in the future. in the direction of strengthening road connectivity, the foundation stone is also being laid for converting the Mahagama Hansidiha section of NH 133 into a 4-lane highway and widening the Vasukinath Deoghar section into 4 lanes. These developments will ensure faster transportation of minerals and ores, leading to progress in tribal-dominated regions, while also improving access to renowned religious destinations such as Baba Baidyanath Dham and Vasukinath Temple. The Paul Depot in Bokaro is also being dedicated to the nation. Additionally, the complete electrification of Jharkhand's railway network is being dedicated to the nation. This will contribute to environmental protection and reduce carbon footprints. Along with this, the doubling of the Patratu-Jarangadi rail section, the Hatia-Pakur section, and the Talgriya-Bokaro rail section is also being undertaken. With the completion of these railway projects, operating high-speed trains such as Vande Bharat in the region will become possible. The inauguration and foundation laying of these projects will not only accelerate Jharkhand's development but will also contribute to fulfilling India's resolve for nation building. There was a time when India was counted among the world's most prosperous and powerful nations. A major foundation of India's prosperity was its maritime strength. However, after independence, that glorious legacy was largely neglected. But this is the new India. The new India is setting new milestones in maritime infrastructure. Over the past decade, the Indian government has worked continuously to strengthen the entire maritime infrastructure ecosystem. The capacity of India's major ports has doubled during this period. India's vision for progress is bringing visible transformation on the ground, and these efforts have also advanced the mantra of speed and productivity. India is also modernizing its coastal shipping network. The development of inland waterways in India is bringing about a major transformation as well. History stands witness that whenever India's maritime capability has been strong, both the nation and the world have greatly benefited from it. With this belief, over the past 10 years, India has been working in a planned and systematic manner to empower this sector.